you see it?
Can you hear us as well, Feiazie?
Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Just
see
one.
now. See now.
So the what you call it, the Wi-Fi code, if you're struggling with it, there's a workaround because the whole building is a bit of a Faraday chamber, so you can't really get a mobile phone signal. You may have to just go outside, get getting a mobile phone signal outside. I know it's a bit weird, but that's the way how they done it.
You can't see it. You can't see it. Yeah.
And then if you have a fair something on it, you can maybe do it. And then you have to log into your name.
But we're live right
Yeah, but it's just, do you have any signal?
Do you want me
Oh, you do perfect. Yeah.
to, is he opening it? Oh no, yeah, it's camera.
Okay, thanks everyone for coming. I'm Kiana, I work for a RAS group, which we are part of the Google Developer Group Milton Keynes. Anyone can join it, so it's not just for RAS. We have people that used to work for RAS, but they're still part of the Google Developer Group Milton Keynes organizers. So if you want to join as well, just let us know after this session today. So this has the itinerary, so we already welcome the network with each other, connected to our Wi-Fi's. And I'm going to introduce the first speaker. Did you join us? Okay, so we got, Jordan, which is, he actually had his own business. He was a CEO of one of his development companies, I think. Yeah. And now he's starting a new journey in his new business, Takara AI. And then afterwards, we're going to have Diana talking, which works for AS. She's going to show us how to craft a website with minimal or no code. She's been working for AS for a year now, and she's a self-taught developer, which actually her stuff is amazing. If you want to have a look at one of her examples, look at her group website. And then afterwards, after a little break, we're gonna do a little workshop with that. That's why you're having your laptops today with Feiazie. She's also been working for us since this year. She is amazing at developing apps. She literally built us an app in less than 24 hours. So she's gonna work through the whole process with you and kind of like go through the beginner, and also if you want to like advance a little bit, she'll also introduce a little bit of that. I think that's it. If you have any questions, obviously wait for the talk to be finished and then you can ask questions. We will have a little bit of time break in between all of them so you can get yourself ready for the next one. So I'm going to introduce Jordan first, Jordan Legg, to do his presentation. I've put a QR code of everyone's at the beginning. So that's their LinkedIn. If you want to connect with them on LinkedIn, I'd recommend just scanning that and getting connected with them. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, well, thanks for coming down. I really appreciate you guys' time, by the way, to do this talk. And what I want you to get out of this really is a little bit of background on me, as well as I want to cover off what AI really means, and what it means for developers going forward. Just a show of hands, is anyone here also a self-taught developer? My infinite respect goes to you, by the way. Because it's not easy, So I started writing code when I was 14. I taught myself Python. I was really interested in pen testing. If anyone knows what pen testing is, it's like open source investigation. You know, you get Kali Linux and you think you're, the dude from Mr. Robot messing around with stuff like that. And then that transitioned into a few friends, one of the websites, family, that kind of thing, and moving on. And then when I was 19, I started a company where we were using AI and machine learning to better target people on LinkedIn, because in the B2B space, that doesn't exist. In the B2C space, it does. You got Facebook, where if you are looking for a hammer or a beach ball, or some new Lego, which show you targeted ads. But in the B2B space, that didn't exist. And we created that where people could come onto our platform and basically, if they had bought something before, then we could send them targeted ads in a business context. But before I get to all that, I just want to talk about like my journey from going from like zero and what my motivations were in web development. And that really comes down to my obsession with speed of applications and the overall speed of the website. And if you go to the next slide here, this is basically my life when I was younger. I was like, how fast can we make anything go? And I first started out on WordPress. So WordPress is where a lot of web developers start, where they are right now. It's great for blogging. And it has this lovely language that many of you may know, which is PHP. And I absolutely hate PHP with a passion. It is by far one of the most frustrating languages I've ever had to touch. Primarily because, number one, it's like not very easy to kind of learn on your own, I find. The bugging on it, the debugging on it kind of sucks. If you make one error, it breaks the whole thing. And I was just really not vibing when I was young. I had nobody around me to kind of help me go, this is what you're doing wrong. None of my friends, none of my family knew any code. So, you know, and Google only gets you so far. Stack Overflow only gets you kind of so far sometimes. You can't just ask someone, what am I doing wrong? Why is this going wrong? And so I transitioned to a place where I was like, right, there's got to be something better. If we go to the next slide, when I built my first company, we made this beautiful site, fantastic, awesome site, and it had this beautiful generative design in front of it that used some algorithms of math that would automatically change the node. And this was rendered on the GPU. It was just sick. It was like a real pet project, and it just didn't go fast enough as much as we wanted to. Because when you're a tech company, you want something to load really quickly for your clients. Otherwise, what does that say? What does that say about you as a company? If you're like, if you're trying to be a global company and your client connects to your site, it takes like 2-3 seconds. That would keep me up at night, that kind of thing. And so we decided, and this is why I was jumping the shark, that we had reached the end, the absolute limit of what WordPress could really do in a few seconds. We got it to about 1.5 seconds, and that was it. And we decided to completely recode the site onto Gatsby, which is a nice Jamstack sort of builder, static site. And we eventually got it down to about 0.5 second. That's where we got it to. And that's my philosophy through a lot of my development is how do we optimize each piece of the chain? And that functioned back into my business as well. How do we optimize each piece of the chain? And when we come to AI in the future, really this barrier to entry has been lowered significantly. What I had to do in the beginning when I was 14, coming up to now, not knowing how to do anything with PHP and stuff, has almost been completely eroded by the fact that ChatGPT now exists with GPT-4. And sure, it might not get everything right on the first go, but if it gets you 75, 80% of the way there, that's insane. Like, that's a huge time save. And when you're running a business or you're trying to be a web developer or you're trying to develop anything, if you can save time, ultimately that means you can do more jobs in less time, as well as you don't have to have someone next to you to say you're doing something wrong. If you don't know how to do something, you can ask it for help or ask it to write something. And so with this, if you're in a very basic sense, you know nothing about nothing, you can ask it to just write some HTML for you. You can ask it in very plain languages, which is just awesome. But even so, if we go to the next slide here, we can start to ask it more complicated questions. And this for me is this argument about, okay, is AI going to erode the value or the ultimate position of the developer? Because I hear it all the time from business leaders. Well, what the hell do I need a developer for? I can just get any Joe off the street and have them use ChatGPT, and they're going to build me whatever you want. But that's like saying I would rather have someone off the street drive my Formula 1 car compared to Michael Schumacher. Okay, you still want someone that's going to use that in a relatively well space. If you have someone that doesn't know how to use ChatGPT to code something, you will get something that works, sure. But if you have someone that understands code and understands this, you can get some seriously insane stuff. You can start to ask it really complicated questions. You can start to ask AI to do all kinds of really interesting stuff that other people wouldn't think about. And that means that you can offer services that are way above everyone else for your clients. And also, you can save a whole bunch of time doing it. And this is just an example might not be applicable to everything. But that's something that's, a regular person probably wouldn't think to add, but this is going to help you do it anyways. And if you don't understand how to use it, you can, if we go to the next slide again, we can actually ask, where do I put this code? And that to me is just beautiful. Because when I was self-taught, when I was first learning, it was like, where do I put this code? I understand on Stack Overflow that this is my solution to this problem, but I didn't even know where to put that. I didn't understand what an index was. I didn't understand what a 404 HTML was. And so if we go to the next slide here, where I see developers going in the future, when we talk about not just you're just doing a job, right? You sit in a company and you just develop one thing. It's ultimately changing from what I'm hearing from businesses, okay? A lot of businesses have data from customer acquisition, data from where they're selling things, data from their own sources. And one of the problems that they have is they have no ability to bring this data together and generate valuable insights or connect some of their systems together. And the developer is really important with AI now to bring these services together in a coherent way. And that's what we're trying to do at Takara, which is by making bespoke tools for business leaders to bring stuff together. And if you see with the AWS Summit that just happened in Vegas, that is exactly what they're doing. They just released something called AWS Bedrock. And the whole idea with that is so you can just bring all kinds of third-party systems and data together very easily without having to interface loads of stuff, create a data lake, which is a massive undertaking on its own. And then you can start to build apps on top of that and build insights on top of that, which is a huge thing. So I think the developers with AI are going to be sitting in the middle. The middle layer between all these systems is going to be where a lot of the work is going with this AI stuff, because you can leverage how good AI is with the middle layer of how it interfaces seamlessly with other systems and build apps super easily on top of it. And you can say to a business leader, hey, look, you have a logistics company. I can build you an app that accurately plots all the routes for your trucks that takes into account like fuel mileage, weather, all this stuff, and not have to do any kind of crazy data lake or SQL server or something. You just have all those APIs, shoot right into Bedrock, and then have some layer at the top of it where you can ask your human questions. That is so far above anything that would be possible, 2 years ago. And that is a huge value to business leaders. Business leaders constantly want more insight in anything that they're doing. And if you can offer that to people, the sky's the limit. You can talk to any business because they all have the same problem. I'm working with a solar panel company right now, and they have a problem where, their accounting system doesn't talk to their calendar for booking their people in. It doesn't even talk to where they design the solar system. So they want to bring this all together. How to do it? Well, there's no way, because everything's different. We have to bring it into a middle layer and generate insights from that and make it all work together. And the only way you can do that is with sort of not necessarily a language model in the middle, but some kind of layer like AWS Bedrock that's going to magically just glue this all together without you having to manually map all the APIs and do the middleware thing yourself. Just incredible. And so I'm really excited actually at Takara, the kind of things that we can do in the future, as well as AI in general, because there's all sorts of things that are coming for web developers in general with no code and stuff. Generating logos, generating artwork, generating the code itself, having the code generate itself, running the Git environment for you. GitHub's new Copilot stuff is really cool. You should go check that out if you haven't already. With their new keynote, I think that was yesterday. Microsoft's got their keynote coming up, which is going to be one to watch because they just bought OpenAI. So I'm super hyped actually for where AI is going. And the coolest thing about it, I think, is that it's because the barrier's been lowered so much, you can do things that no one else could do beforehand. You don't have to be like a PhD in maths. You don't have to write your own models. You don't have to know TensorFlow. You don't have to own 50 GPUs in a room and have them spinning away, consuming electricity to do your thing. You can just write the programming yourself, solve problems for business leaders, which is where all the money is, and then let the other guys sort the rest of that thing out. Let the big hyperscalers, let people like Cloudflare deal with the back-end stuff, and you just focus on writing really good software, really good programs for your clients. And so if we go to final one, just final thoughts. There's us at AWS reInvent this year in Vegas. Really cool. I like that shot. It took ages for us to put the pens in, and this is a really cool event. And if you want to know where their thought pattern is, I highly recommend you go check that out, because these are the hyperscalers. These are the people that are telling you where they think everything is going to go. And most of the stuff that they talked about was how to basically eliminate the data lake from businesses, which was a huge problem, which is taking all that legacy data and moving it into somewhere. Now they're talking about, let's not even do that, leave it in the third-party systems and just use like something like AWS Bedrock or Q or whatever to magically pull everything together with a large language model that's going to translate it for you, and then use something on the front end just to ask it questions. Now they've got Amazon Code Whisperer, which is something similar to GitHub Copilot that's coming out. So it's a really interesting time for developers, because there's a lot of things that are going to save you a bunch of time and put you above other developers, which is always good. So when you go into that meeting, when you talk to your boss, and when you talk to another client, you have, hey, I know how to do this quicker. I can use this in this way that's going to solve this problem for you. And I think that's about it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Any questions? No? Okay, great. I'll give you some time.
Well, thank you, Jordan. That was a lot of fun.
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Are you, you're very positive on AI. Are you worried about it at all?
Obviously, yes.
Right.
Yeah, I think one of the problems is if you don't follow with the AI, it can be a radically deflationary thing for your services, for anyone's services. So let's say AI automates a lot of things. So what is the value of your work end up being a lot lower? And this is why a lot of people are saying AI is going to be something for GDP per capita, let's say. Or it's going to make everything way more, cost effective and productive per person. No, because as you automate more things, it deflates the value of that. So I think if anyone's going to sit by and not jump on the train, that's going to hurt them. As well as the rumor from Open AI, which was that they are using a quantum computer with AI, which is, I don't know if you know how they work, but
I think anybody does.
Okay, so the worry with that is a quantum computer works in a very different way to a normal computer. It can see ones and zeros at the same time. And the reason that's a problem is that it can calculate prime numbers exceptionally quickly. And prime numbers, if you calculate those exceptionally quickly backwards, factorizing, that's essentially breaking any encryption, right? RSA, SSL, banking stuff, all of it. And that's one of the problems that's rumored to be why OpenAI had that whole problem with their board and getting rid of Adam, because he wanted to push something like that out to the public, not necessarily break encryption, but I think they were either simulating or wanting to bring some kind of quantum computer style thing to market. And that is.
Yeah, I meant more as a developer, because AI has come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And now you're talking about how a developer can position themselves in that field, right? Sure. But you're not worried that the whole game is going to change and there's going to be no. I mean, you say that you can ask ChatGPT to generate code for you, right?
Yeah.
Without knowing anything about code. Okay, now that's the argument for if you've got Wikipedia in your pocket and you don't really know anything, right? The problem with that is, of course, that if you don't know what you're reading, then you don't know the integrity of what you're reading, so you can end up spouting gibberish, right? Yeah. So you do need to develop, right? Yeah. But this thing is happening so fast, right? Are we sure this isn't we're not misleading ourselves?
In what way? Misleading ourselves
in the can AI not just take over the developer role altogether?
I mean, developing what? Sure, in very, very small list of cases, I imagine AI could easily take anything, but for large projects, it's going to be still quite difficult for AI to take over that necessary piece, as well as if you move with it, the complexity goes up, and your ability to use AI goes up as well. So, as I said, if you're looking to stay in one place, do small projects that AI is going to eliminate, then yes. But if you're looking at a large project, let's say, because AI and ChatGPT is very task-based, solve this problem, solve this training problem.
It is now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But how long has it been around? A couple of years? We're already where we are now.
Yes.
Yeah, where are we going to be in 2 years' time?
Can I just add to that? If you think about it that way, though, it's so like as an artist, we have the same issues as well. Like we're thinking about AI is going to basically take over, but the only thing is with that, for now, it's like it's pattern recognition. It's trying to figure all of that out, and for the time being, it still needs to be prompt. And who's better to prompt it than a website developer? Like you can't just go to it and say, okay, I want this website. No, what do you want from it? And the website developer that comes in handy to say, okay, you need this, you need this, you need this, this, and this, and this. AI is not going to be able to connect those dots yet, at least. But for the time being, what I know is, you kind of need to have the knowledge to be able to kind of proceed with AI. You can't just go to it and say, okay, I don't know anything, help me out. You have to have like know what you want from it.
Yeah, sure. It's moving into the product side. It's moving into the product side. You know, and as developers, we need to move into the solving the problem for the business leaders side and using AI as if it wants to build a whole project for me, fantastic. I'll go into any business right now and I say I'll solve this problem for you right now. I know how to do it. I can do it for you in like a day. And I'm going to charge them a whole bunch of money because I'm the one who knows how to do it. You got to, because this is the problem. We live in a world of developers where we know what the problem is. We know everything. But you talk to business leaders and they haven't got a clue what's going on. They don't know that AI can do everything. They don't know that.
No.
For now. but I'm telling you, I did a talk previously, and a lot of them don't understand this sort of stuff, and they never will. It's not their bag. It's not their bag. Their bag is to work on the future of their business, on the inside of their business, and they need someone, whether that's a CTO or a technical person, to just show them how to solve their business problem, whether that's with AI or not with AI, whatever. But that's the role I see developers going into, because ultimately, whether we're writing code or not writing code, we're solving problems for business leaders or our teams or whatever. But if people want to hang around and do it the old way, then that's an argument for another day. But that's where I ultimately see it going. Otherwise, I wouldn't start my new business. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna jump on that. We can do it all in some networking in the end if you want to carry on the chat. So next we're gonna have Deanna. You can add her link on LinkedIn. She basically runs our website and she's amazing. She literally comes up with these new stuff and integrates her in there. She's really good. So I'll leave it on with Deanna now. She is at the moment in Ukraine and streaming for us live. Deanna, take the floor.
Hello, everyone. Can you please share the presentation of my
Sorry, what did you say? Could you repeat?
She wants to share the presentation.
Okay. Is that from there?
You can do, or Deanna, I can drive it for you if you want.
They have like a few animations they quick, so it will be easier if I will do it.
Okay.
And I think she wants to go on the webflow anyways.
All right.
So
Okay.
if you stop screen sharing, she can start screen sharing.
Cool.
Awesome. Just a second. Can you see?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, hello everyone, my name is Diana, and I am a web developer at Race Group. I create digital art, unique and modular designs that come to life as finished websites. questions like how to create engaging content on the website, how to create animations, how to keep attention. This is my work, and it's the work that we really love. And on the right side, you can see the QR code to our website that I did by my own. So you can scan it and just discover different elements that you can create as well. And today I want to talk to you about a no-code platform for creating websites. I will show you how to create a website header, what is the foundation for every site. Actually, you can see the headers that we will create together on this slide. And also, I will show you how to easily add code to your site, even if you haven't done it before. And all of this we will do with the Webflow platform. And I want to ask you, have you heard anything about this platform, or perhaps you built a website in it?
You guys heard about Webflow before?
No.
No? Oh, okay. It's pretty awesome, actually. It's really good. Really good.
Yeah, so my information today will be useful for beginners and also for people who already work with Webflow. So Webflow is an innovative web development platform that combines elements of coding with an intuitively understandable visual approach to building websites. And why I really like Webflow? Because what we can do, building and editing website without coding, but at the same time, easy addition of code to the website. Ability to create unique animation, creative responsive design for proper content display on small to large screen, so from small mobile screen for really big desktop. And of course, publication of your site on Webflow hosting and the creation of a custom site address. And today, we will create a header view. This element, I will change my place. So we have this reference that consists of logo, pages, drop-down element, and style-based text. And now we'll quickly reserve. So we're going to look for the page, and we have now an empty page for our site. And what we need to do at first. On the side, you can place a button with different elements that you can use for your page, for your website. We go down and we can find a section advanced. And here we have an element navbar. So we just drag it here. Also, we can use a hotkey. It will be like Command E and just like navbar, click and have the same. So it will do the work quicker for us. But now we just drag our navbar. The second really important thing, every time you need to give a name to your elements. It will help you if you want to create another navbar, you will have a unique design. Because for example, if you create a navbar and tomorrow we'll create a new one with the same name, it will affect your previous design. So we just put any name that you want. I want to use now GDG. Just a second. Now GDG. And now we have a space to our logo. So this is our URL where we want to have our logo. What we need to do is we are going to our elements, go to the media section, and here we can find an image. Just drag it here. This one. And also don't forget to give a name, so it's really, really important. Just now, logo. You can put anything what you want. Let's do this one. And now we can put a name. And it's a quite big for now. So what we can do, just change the width of our image. You can choose whatever you want that will be suitable for your design. So 200 pixels will be the best option for me. And now, according to our reference, we have home, and this next section will be upcoming events. So just easily add another text that we need. And then we have a drop-down element. So I don't need this one, I can just click it, and instead of this, again, group our elements to the advanced and find drop-down element, this one, put it here. Again, I insert a name. Now, drop-down GDG, and in my slides, in drop-down toggle, I will give a name, now GDG. Awesome. And as you can see here, I already choose the size and font. You can change it according to your design. And also you can see that I have a small animation, like cover animation. So how to create this? You can just go to this section, just a hover action, and choose a color, or maybe you can change the size, but I want a blue color. So I changed it, and now I have this small kind of animation. But I want the same for the home and upcoming events, so I need to add a plus. I will add now green GDG, and I already chosen size, font, and again color animation, blue one. And for upcoming events, what I only need to do, use the stream name. Now bring GDG. And here we are. We have our small animation with 3 elements. So what we only need is the text. This one. And I don't want really to have my navbar so central. I want to move a little bit. So you need a small trick. For this, in your navbar, you have a container. And we go into these elements and just drag a deep block inside of container. And now, inside of this new div, move our elements that we have before. And for our block, just change the position to the flex and use this one, space between. But we still have some space. To avoid this, we need to go to container and change our mark space to 100%. And here we are, we have our header with this for all our page. You can change it according to your website. So, for example, I want to bring it down a little bit, and also I don't want a background color. So you can choose whatever you want. I want just transparent, and maybe to give some space like this one. So we almost finished with our header, but we still have this drop-down list. So what we need to do, just choose it, go to the settings, show our list, and in our layers, you can see that we have now green and drop-down list. So the main one for our list. We need to change again the name to have a unique name. It will be just drop-down list, and I already added a color, background color, and add 8 pixels of radius. You can add whatever you want, like 0, or maybe you want it so circle, so add pixels. And from my drop down, for my text, you need to use the name as well. So it will be drop down green. And for my text, I use a white color, this size, this font, and also used a hover within and changed my background. So it's so easy to do. And now what we need to do, just add the same link, drop down link for all our text. Have the same sequence. Drop down this. And in our reference, we have the text, so add our text, so if we this one organize this and like this. We start to read. And now we have our header, this clickable drop-down list, and with this kind of animation when you hover it. Also, don't forget to use a URL for your brand's logo. So you have your brand's logo, and in your settings, you can choose a page that you want with this logo. So, for example, it can be the same page, and every time when your client will click on this page, let's see. Oh, sorry, guys.
That's okay, yeah. It's all right. It's not you, it's Webflow. But it's amazing, I mean, what you can kind of achieve with something, and she's shown it to you, explaining it as well, in probably, 20 minutes? Just made an app bar and a header which actually works with that.
Whose technology is this?
Webflow is it's a company that's based in the US, and a lot of people use them for really fancy looking websites. Like if you check our website out, it's gorgeous because of Deanna, but also gorgeous because of the underlying technology that she's built it on as well.
We are here. Second please.
And the amazing thing with like Webflow as well is that it's you can go get templates with it as well. So you could just buy a template for 10, 15 pounds, whatever. I would strongly recommend that maybe you play with the template first, but don't build your website on a template because they're not really very configurable. Apart from once you've got the template put in place, otherwise you run into all sorts of issues. We used 2 templates initially to build out 2 of our websites, but then afterwards we just stripped it all apart and we went back.
Is it a hosting platform or is it just deliver you the HTML?
It's a platform that connects up. Yeah, it basically it's not the host. It connects up to the host and then afterwards just displays. No, actually, hang on. It is the host, yeah. So we've got our domains which we bought on Squarespace or Google Domains on the back of the day. But yeah, we've connected it up to this and it just she updates it on the regular.
I think one of the major issues of web design and development is the responsive element. What you're talking about is getting it to work on mobile. Most people actually visit sites through their mobile. So if your website is not on track from a mobile perspective, you're failing already. you have to get that sorted straight away. And I think that's one of the issues that a lot of web developers, I've used WordPress and hate it. And I do it for my mom's website. I would have done it for others and stuff like that, but I actually, if I was to do it for other people, I'd love to learn stuff like Webflow. I think it's an easy
So back in those days, right, 10 years back when I was developing, there was this Adobe Dreamweaver. You may So when you view the website, it actually looks the same as you expect, but the generation, right, the HTML generation would be on the observable tags. So which is not actually easy to maintain.
No.
So that's why when Bootstrap came, so it's a completely responsive, that's why you're talking about, right, the mobile responsiveness. So when Bootstrap came, it became very easy, where there is this classes we use for small, large, and extra small. You can keep adding the classes that Bootstrap provides and keeps getting the responsiveness. So that boilerplate code will have all the device classes.
That's where it works. And they're built into these themes, aren't they?
Yes.
People start saying that.
Yeah, so it's like Twitter built it and they open sourced it. So that gave every developer an opportunity to learn about mobile responsiveness.
So that's a turning point, really.
Yeah.
It sort of goes hand in hand how mobiles have developed themselves.
That's correct. So previous to responsiveness, there was something called adaptive development. That's like when Facebook developed, they created like m.facebook.com, so which opens the mobile version. And www.facebook.com will give you the web version, the tablet and desktop version.
Quite clever, really.
Yeah, that was clever. Adaptive was clever, but responsive took over the development effort.
Well,
you develop once and it's for all
the work you have it, then it also.
Yeah, so the MD classes are for tablets. SM is for the mobile.
I've never actually tried it like that. That's good, actually.
Yeah.
Even we have clear in CSS.
Which one?
Clear in CSS for React.
Yes, React. So React also
I have to turn up.
Sorry, but is that?
Yeah.
You want to carry on?
Because in continue, so we already created this header, this small kind of color animation, and what we need to add that we have a text selection, but we want to add a code to this section that have this kind of animation when you highlight the text. And it's really so quick to do. What only we need to do? We again go to our elements and try to develop our text. Don't forget to give a name. I will use even paper. You can choose any name that you want. Then I can add a div. We'll give a name div GDG. Inside of this, just add a text block and use the name. As you see, I already assigned the one I want to provide. So I use a coded string. Now we take over text that we wanted. And we need to add the code. So how to do this? We only need to give a name. I will use global GDG. Inside of it, we need to embed. So it will be the base of our code. Just go down, and in our advanced page, you can see embed. It looks like this. The space where we paste our code. For now, just save and close. And what we need to do in our global div, just tag it and make the component. Give any name that you want to create, and it's almost done. Only what we need to do, go to our code, it will be now here, open code, and we share this user's code, so we can do the same, just need to put this data, just put our code, save and close, and check. And we have a so quick animation by our code. But what to do if I don't want a red color? It's not suitable for my design. You can do whatever you want. Just go to again to the your element, open, and you have background, so you can change any background. You can choose the color of your text. And for my design, I want to use a blue color. So you can just put blue, black, white, or you can paste a specific number. Save and close. And now we have animation with our color.
So when you hover over the code or you touch it, that animation It's really cool. So like you feel like you're interacting with the website, not just kind of.
Yes, we give you some movement, so we want to play with this, and again, it gives you opportunity to give attention on your website. So, like in 15 minutes, we will create this new header and created a code, a small code animation. I really started with it running today. I want to say that keep innovating, keep creating, and most important, enjoy the process. If you will have any questions, you can ask right now or do later on our website. We will be happy to help you through.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fiona, you said that you had a link that you wanted to share as well. Are you okay to put that in the presentation? And then I can, because we're sharing a presentation with everyone in the end, so you can.
Oh, awesome. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, just put it like at the end of your presentation with like a description saying what it is.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, thank you everyone. I think we'll have a little break. What I need everyone to do for the next session is definitely go on Chrome or whatever you're going to use and log in into a Google account. And then the rest of it, Feiazie will go through it with you guys what you need to do to build an app with AppSheet.
Yeah.
So just all you have to do, make sure you're connected to the internet and log into a Google account. That's it.
But before that, let's order some pizza. There are so few of us that we can basically choose what we like.
Whoa.
Let's accept that.
It's definitely not a vegan pizza for Kiana. She,
I tried that.
yeah, try this.
Find a pizza buddy.
Find a pizza buddy. I love that.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah, I think that sounds good. Is there enough? You do say you're not eating, or you don't mind having like one slice of pizza? Are you sure you're not hungry? You might as well have like a half. Oh wait, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You have the whole
How hungry are you? You're already hungry. Yeah. Oh, you're vegetarian as well. Are you vegetarian as well? Oh, okay. This is chicken, okay. Yeah. Are you hungry? Are you guys like really? No, I don't mind vegetarian pizza, and I'm sure that someone else here would understand. I don't know what pizza. Is that what you want? Sorry, that's so boring. Such a boring pizza.
I love that all day.
Are you a pizza buddy that I'm choosing? Is that?
I don't know. What do you know?
What's available? We'll find out what's available. Yeah, that
Well, we're just going on to see what.
I said half an hour usually fills me up. And then like 10 minutes later, I'm like, actually, yeah, exactly.
What
the hell is a ketosis? What's ketosis?
Or you don't eat it, your body starts eating itself.
Oh, that sounds great. Oh, you want the ketosis, do you? Yeah, the burger came earlier.
Not before that. I haven't eaten all morning.
You don't need no more than that.
Since 6 o'clock. Spanish. I think it's vegetarian.
What kind of vegetarian can you find?
Oh, shit.
We've got pepperoni, Hawaiian, so I don't think there's any chicken as such. Yeah, I'm fine with chicken as well. Is it like yeah, I like yeah, that's fine. Go for it. Yeah.
I'll wrap that one up, guys, so we can quickly do the next slide and next presentation, so then we can crack on with some pizza. Are we okay to carry on?
Yeah.
So we're going to carry on with the next.
No, we're talking.
Yeah, we'll finish this one off, and then from there we can go have some pizza and then carry on socializing.
Cool.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so Feiazie has been working for us for I think 6 months. She is absolutely amazing. She does a lot of cool things in Guyana. She at the moment in South America, Guyana, and doing the same as Fiona. She's going to be live streaming for us. So this one, you want your laptops open and get ready to build some apps.
Let's do this.
Good. Okay, Feiazie, the floor is yours.
Great, hi everyone. I'm Feiazie, and well, Kim and I already gave an introduction about me, so I'll just get straight into it. The other speakers would have spoken about websites and web development, but this afternoon or this evening I'll touch on app development, and we'll be using a really cool tool called Google AppSheet. So before we get into that, it is very great. So just a little about me, I have a background in computer science.
STEM, robotics, and of course, 3D printing or more additive manufacturing. Not sure if many of you are aware of that, but I just love everything, and that's just me. So as a digital solutions architect at Risk, what I do is I basically build really cool digital tools, and these digital tools help us make business and business process effortless. So that's what we'll be doing today. We'll be looking at things, some sort of digital solution. And that brings me to a question. How do you guys feel about building an app in less than 2 minutes? Do you think it is possible? Do you think it's not?
No.
Right, I'm gonna time you first. 6:57, let's start. Timer, you let me know when. Oh, now.
Good. So, I mean, before we get started with the demo, of course, you can build an app in 5 minutes with the platform I'm about to show you, and you'll see it. You don't have to take my word for it, you'll see it. But just keep in mind how useful this app is going to be, or if it will be useful at the end of this 5 minutes or less, right? All right, are you guys timing me?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Tell me when.
Ready. So I'll be doing a bit of explanation to you as well. So I'm using Google Sheets as well as Google AppSheet. Google Sheets will be my database, and my development platform will be AppSheet. We'll have a simple Google Sheet, very round, plain, and there's a cool feature that Google would have released called Web AI, and it's basically an AI collaborator. So I'm going to make use of that in this demo today, because why not? Here for a reason, right? So I'm going to prompt this AI to give me a template of the project tracker that someone might use for either personal use or business use. So I've given it a prompt, and it gives me a really good first draft of where I can start. So let's just say maybe I want this, and then you can adjust things and put like IDs, or if you want to compare things to this spreadsheet, you can. But for the sake of time, I will not. So we have our database set up here. We have a few records already stored in here. So you kind of have a functioning database already, and that's one of the first things for your app. Now, the next thing is, let's just develop an app. So this is the Google AppSheet platform, and it's as simple as linking the database to this platform, and it's going to produce an interface for you to modify your application. So I'm going to create an app. Let's just call it GDG Milton. Good. So I've named my app, categorized it. Let's find my database. Good. So I've just imported my database to be connected to the app, and it is creating. Not sure if this comes in the time, but and we wait. Let's find out the exact sits there. Okay, so it's still taking a bit. Of course, it's going to take a while to pull the data from the database, then present the data that is user-friendly for us. So I've connected it, and it tells me my app is ready. So it's connected to the data that I provided right at the instant timer. We have it here. So it is a functioning app. It shows you different views. So it shows my different projects that are here. It's categorized by stats of each task. So we can see that there are completed tasks, there are in progress tasks, there is tasks that you can do. And you can click on that, view more details, you can modify them, whether edit, delete, change the status, things like that, whatever you want to do. There's also an app feature you can add your own tasks. That of course it's meant to be a function to-do or a tracker, so you can add your own tasks to this as well. So of course this is just a basic, but it is an app, of course. It might not be the exact thing that you're looking for, but it's an application that was produced to you in how many minutes? You guys said?
2 minutes, 20 seconds.
Oh, okay, good. A lot faster than I expected. So now, you might think this is really fast, like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, but Google is actually releasing a feature for our platform that's going to allow you to just type in your specification, and it's going to present to you a custom app language, but it's going to be based on whatever you would have specified that you needed in your requirements. So that's going to take even less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But it's not really system, so you don't have that to do. But yeah, so this is a Baksh app. It might not be exactly what you're looking for, but it's an app and it can get things done. So that was it for the demo. And of course, you can customize it. But I'll leave that for the hands-on activity. Just wanted to maybe get guys a bit about what the platform can do or what to expect from the platform. So yes, let's continue. Oops, I did mention this now in the demo, what I used to create the app. And for the database to store whatever project data and project information, I've used Google Sheets. Of course, Google Cloud Platform offers different databases, and that can also be connected to your development platform. So there is like AppSheet database, SQL databases, a bunch of other databases you can connect to your AppSheet. And of course, the development platform is AppSheet. So I've been talking about AppSheet, Google AppSheet all the time. It's basically a no-code platform, and it just helps you to create these mobile apps. And it's not only mobile apps, because you can use them in the main version as well. So it's mobile and web applications. And it's pretty cool because you can integrate with different sets of data on different platforms. It has a user-friendly interface. It's cross-platform compatibility. So you can build one app and deploy it on multiple devices, Android, iOS, Windows, etc. So that's pretty cool. And you can get it done in minutes, as you just saw. But a key takeaway from that is that you need to know what is needed for your app before you go ahead and build it. Because I would have just built a simple app in 2 minutes, and it might not even be useful for some of you, right? You might not even need a project tracker, right? So it's all about knowing what are your needs, what you need an app to solve, or what would an app be helpful with, and once you have that, you lay out your requirements and you're ready to build something. Alright, so with that being said, are you guys ready to build your own app since you have an idea of what the AppSheet is now? And yes, I'm going to use a project tracker, mainly because I feel like almost everyone has written a to-do list before, whether it's in paper or you use different applications. You've all written a to-do list once, at least once in your life. Am I correct, or has no one ever written a to-do list?
Is that a yes, you are? I haven't. Okay.
Alright, well, we'll build a project tracker, and hopefully it'll encourage you guys to make to-do lists and keep track of it, and it's giving you some incentive to actually get your work done. Yeah. And the challenge for this is to let's complete it in less than 15 minutes. I'm sure we can do it in 10, right? But let's see. So before we get started, does everyone have your Google account signed in? Of course, if you're going to participate in building the app, that is.
Google account signed in? Cool. We will be started. Cool. Yeah, go for it, Feiazie.
Awesome. So we'll be using these two platforms. We'll be using Google Sheets and Google AppSheet. We won't be using any other databases because we'll just sit at that beginner stage, right? Good. So we'll go along and get the Google Project Tracker tool. And the next few slides are going to be instructions, and then I'll transition to a demo for us to customize it together, right? So this is just for you to set up your app, ensure it's functioning, and then you'll be able to customize it for our need. And then of course, you can take it after this workshop and then go ahead and customize it for your own need, make it a personalized pattern. Could be fun. Right. The first thing or first step is for us to set up our database. That is the main thing. We need somewhere to store this data. And we'll use Google Sheets for that. And these are the columns. Of course, this is just my suggestion. If you want to go ahead and add your own columns or your own categories for storing project data, feel free to do that. But what I've done is, so we have about 5 columns: project ID, project name, description, status, and due date. This is just the basics of what you might want to keep track of in your project tracker or your to-do app, whatever you want to call it. So I've set up this simple database. If you want to use this exact template, feel free to just scan the code, download and make a copy of it. It's right there. It's Google Sheets, so you should be able to just make a copy of that. And it has data already built in, so it saves you a bit of time from going to add that data. And of course, it would take a while to think about what is the structure of my database as well, because that is one of the foundations. You need to have a proper database in order for you to build your app.
Come on.
You were referring to this spreadsheet as a proper database, it's making me giggle.
You're not picking up.
And how did you get the magic AI helper to generate this thing for you on the screen so I don't have it?
Yeah, I missed that.
So you have to pay.
You're right.
Right?
What's that?
Google Workspace, you can connect a Duet AI to it, and it's able to then start operating things for you.
Yeah, okay.
It's 30 quid
That's right.
per user per month.
Just going through.
I mean, additionally, you can use other AI tools that are free to help you come up with the structure for your database as well.
Oh, yeah, we just chuck some chat GPT into the value sheet and doesn't it, right? But I thought it was a cool nugget we're missing, and there is, but it's accidentally paid.
I think the QR code isn't working, I just tried it.
It's not.
To be honest though, if you've only got like just a field
Yes,
headers,
I
and you just populate maybe 2 or 3 things, it will be fine.
Okay, well, it's a short database. You got set up 5 different columns, put the heading line. Just needs more work for you guys, but it can take 2 minutes or less.
What we're gonna do is probably start off with this, but then it'll gradually get more and more complicated because we'll start looking at a whole bunch of Google But obviously, this is just the first go to get people on the base level here. But you can, anything that Google produces, you can link to AppSheet, anything. When you think of like maps, when you think of like geolocation and tagging, you can build logistic solutions on top of it. You can build stuff which will connect up weather to it. You can do all sorts of crazy stuff with this thing. There's even a connector now for an NFC thing. So you know those little NFC cards, right? You can just connect it up to AppSheet, so you tap and you can connect that up so that you let people in, or kind of like a gate effectively. That's pretty cool. There's some really, really awesome things that you can do with it.
You got any little NFC codes we can play with? I'm going for that.
Oh yeah, you can literally order them from Amazon.
Oh,
Like
cool,
the hardware and the thing. There is like a connector in AppSheet that you can connect it to. It's brilliant. It's like the coolest little thing that you kind of there's a use case for that somewhere.
Yeah, right with your phone, right?
Yeah.
Sticking up with your phone, what happened to it? Interesting.
First thing that comes to me is inventory control. One is inventory.
Oh,
Yeah. Sign things out.
yeah. Or just tapping something. That could be. Yeah.
We should do
We should do that with that car.
I should stop speaking, you know.
We should do this for our inventory.
Yeah, but
To like keep track of what we have.
we were thinking about doing it with tiny QR codes. Because some items are like smaller, like the NFC thing, like you need to reach it.
You can just use a barcode. You can just use a barcode scanner.
But it, like you couldn't, you have to paste like physically.
When
With a
you
QR code, it could just be like a sticker or something.
Yeah, but, well, there are stickers.
Yeah. They got things, little things on it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna check that out.
Again, on Amazon, you get one of those grab bag with all the different sorts of them.
All right. All I've seen is just like the picture.
Oh, it's a big car. No, it's ones, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah,
We'll check that out.
I'll save it anyway.
So yeah, Feiazie, I think everything's cool. Is everybody ready? Let's go on. Move to the next one.
So much data.
So I've actually done like on the different database already set up.
Cool.
Great. So, that's step one completed. So the next thing is for us to connect our database to the development platform. And how we're going to do this is, first of all, you're going to have to open AppSheet in your web browser if you don't already have AppSheet open. It might prompt you to sign in back to your Google account. If yes, then sign in with your Google account that time. Of course, if you're restricted certain access, you just need that. This AppSheet will just need access to your Google Drive or your Keys for now, so we can update. Alright, and since you have our AppSheet open in your browser, on your left-hand side, you need the AppSheet logo there to create something. And you can create that, and I want you to start with existing data, because we will put a already set up our database. So you can either start with existing data, you can start with a template, or you can start with a blank app. So with the template feature, AppSheet does have a number of templates for different areas, from project management to directory, to streaming and so forth. But these templates already have their structure that is set up. It's not going to be exactly what you want. So sometimes it's better to start from the very beginning. Of course, you can look at these templates for inspiration, but it helps to save you time if you can start from the beginning once you know what your app needs to do. Alright, so when you click start existing data, it should prompt you to make an app, then we have the category for it, You can go ahead, name your app, maybe GDG Project Tracker Demo, whatever you want to name it. And then the category, you can either choose one of the categories that are there, or you can select the other tab. And I guess thumbs up if you guys are, following as well.
So deleted the app, deleted the Google Sheet. I think the app doesn't automatically, I think the sheet doesn't automatically update the app. We first thing to talk about.
If you use AppSheet database, whatever you update in a database, that gets updated in your app. It does sync. But if you use Google Sheets, I don't think it's the same. So, but the AppSheet database itself is much faster in terms of performance than Google Sheets. It's very, very quick. Like, yeah, you'd be surprised how little thing like that is quite performant, a little bit beast if you start using the playground. Cool. Next bit,
Yes, so once we have our app all named and categorized, the next thing is you to choose your data, and it's going to allow you to select your data source as Google Sheet. So once you click select your data source from Google Sheet, and you locate where you store that Google Sheet, and then you import that for your data, and you just connect.
We'll go help with the pizzas.
It's hard work, isn't it? It is. It's tough.
Are you guys following along? Is there anything that really anyone needs a hand with anything?
So I can just do it as well. You create a new app, you name your app, category, choose your data, prompts you to use AppSheet database or Google Sheets. Rob would have mentioned database, AppSheet database already. There are a few restrictions comparing AppSheet as well as Google Sheet. Of course, you would have your own pros and cons. But for this exercise, we'll just use Google Sheets.
Feiazie, can you click a new source and just see what other sources you can connect up to it? I think there's a bunch of different ones there, so.
Yeah, there are different places you can import your data from. So let's say you had your data already downloaded in some other type of file, you could have extracted that, and then there's a few options here as well.
So you've got quite a variety of different pots of data that you can connect up to it. You've got Box, anything that's on Salesforce, Dropbox, Microsoft Azure stuff, anything really. You'd be surprised at what it can do once you've had a little play around with it.
Google Calendar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my own notes.
That's just a huge block. Well, investigate
Alright, so I connected my data to the app, and it just gives me a display of the sample app that we created. And then from here, we can go ahead and customize it with our different views and our different functions and all of those things. And it's also used functional from this page as well. So let's say if I were to add something, just for sake of, adding something. You see, there are things like these, because we've done this app, the basic version. So things like your project ID, maybe these are things you want to be classified so that they're stored in the database to keep track of certain things, but we don't necessarily want it to be modified by users. So already there is one thing that needs to be changed about this app, maybe the project ID. But for now, I'll just put a random number. Project name. Description. This is us trying to see, or just ensuring that our ad project works now. And then here using AppSheet. Of course, if you want your changes to be updated right away, you need to just ensure you sync the app. And yeah, so our newly added tasks that I just added a few seconds ago with our being displayed in the app. And then if I realize I made a mistake, I want to edit the app, or I want to change the status, or I just want to remove the task because I realized it was incorrect, I can do that as well. Right. Does everyone have their sample app already created? Yes, no?
Yep.
In the process.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's customize. So this is the fun part where we get to do our own little stuff. Good. So some of the things we want to customize within this app. Loading. Alright, good. So we already have at least one project view within our app, and that is showing the list of projects and their details. We also have another view that allows us to create a form to add new projects. So there are two different views already set up here. Now, there are other things we can do, other views. Maybe you want to view your tasks differently, or you want to sort them in order of due date or add a calendar view. These are all things that you can do, and we'll do some of them just a bit. There are other things like creating workflow automations, because of course, there are certain tasks that will need to be automated. For example, if you would like to schedule a notification at the beginning of every week that is telling you, all right, here's a list of your tasks for this week. This is what you need to get done. That's something where an automation can come in. There's also a feature of chat app integration. So if you use Google Chats, you can just do a chat app integration, and then you can access that directly from Google Chats. So you don't even need to open the app. Google Chats can send you your notifications, say you have these tasks here ready for you to complete it. You can update your task right within Google Chats, and that updates in the app as well. That's pretty cool. And then last but not least, of course, you need your app to look and feel like your own. You would be able to customize that, whether it be customizing the team, the brand, the logo, the documentation, all of these things. So that being said, Good. So this is the AppSheet platform. Maybe it's overwhelming, maybe it's not, but everything has labeled, so that's pretty cool. And there's also a cool feature in AppSheet. On your right side, there is a view for the application. And it allows you to see whether it's a mobile view, a tablet view, or even a desktop view. So there's web version. And if you click on it, it adjusts the size. If I click on the desktop view, it's going to open a new tab and then show me the app within a new tab.
So if you think you had to build an app even in Flutter, for example, it would take a little while to basically, just.
Can you export the code from this to another IDE?
No.
What's it generating, is it?
It's basically, when it's deployed, you click on the link and it's installed, you can view it. I'm not sure how it works in terms of the background. Feiazie, do you know?
Pardon, what was the question? I didn't hear.
Sorry, the question was, can you export the code into another IDE? I don't think that's possible with AppSheet, right?
Not exactly, but you can compile your entire app. Let's say maybe you want to transfer it to somebody else. There is a feature that allows you to download everything that you've done within AppSheet, all of the database, and everything that is basically stored in your AppSheet. You can export the entire app and export that in a zip folder.
But that's already compiled.
But you can't really use another IDE to edit it. Because much of it already is in the code. Because it's just a local platform.
There's a lot of things that you can do with it, so we'll show you a little bit. Yeah, sorry, if Feiazie, go for it.
Yes. Great. Yeah, there's a lot of things, but let's just look at one of the fun things which I like is the automations. Because who doesn't like to make your life easier, right? Of course, there's other views you can create. Maybe if you want a calendar view, I can show you really quickly how you do that. So I can add a new view. And of course, AppSheet already is prompting me with suggestions for adding views to my app. And surprisingly, one of the views is to add a calendar view with the due date or the tracker. But I'm gonna click on it. I'll just create it on my own. I'll name the view calendar. And we only have one table. But you can have multiple tables within your database. And if you want to single out specific columns within your table, but you don't want to modify it directly in your database, you can create what you call slices in AppSheet. And these just help you to basically single out or filter your data within your database. And there are different view types that you can use. So there's calendar, deck, table, gallery, forms, charts, maps. Of course, we don't need a map here, but we'll use the calendar view. And as you can see, it already shows. But let's say we want this to be a due date on the calendar. For now, it's just a basic calendar. You can view it in terms of day, week, month, and this is already defaulted by AppSheet. So you can choose what you want to be displayed for each project on your calendar. So if you want the project name to be displayed, and that's going to be displayed on due date of each project. So I can just set the due date. You can make a category. So let's say you had things with your status and you had completed in progress or not started. If you want it to be categorized in terms of color so that you clearly know, all right, these are the tasks that I haven't started this yet, then you'll know they're in a separate color. Then there's things like the default view, the display. and things like that. Right, and then of course, you need to save your updates in order for them to be shown in the app. There are certain updates that as soon as you make them within AppSheet, it's being portrayed immediately in this preview version. But there are some changes that it needs you to save the app in order for AppSheet to process your updates and then be able to show that within the app. But again, that only takes a few seconds it only takes a few seconds. Of course, there's other actions that you can add. So whether you want to add more projects, delete, maybe there are certain projects that you want to change the status for. You can add different buttons to show the status and then to easily update it within your app. Now the other thing is the automation. So let's create an automation. And it already prompts me for suggestions. To send email clearly when the tracker record updated, send an SMS, and all these things. So let's just briefly what we can configure an event. Let's say when a new project is added, we want to be notified, maybe just by notification. Okay, so I just named my event. When a new project is added, and we will add successfully, and it's going to work against our tracker table. And then if we want to check maybe the condition, maybe we can say, all right, check the due date, and then be able to tell me what is the due date when we have added this new project. And then there are certain things like the display that you can also edit. But for now, I'll keep it as close as we can. So when a new project is added, what we want to happen. So let's customize the step. So there are different things you can do. You can send emails, you can send notifications, SMS. You can then create new files. So let's say, for instance, you've added a new project and you want to maybe add a project document. So once this new project is added, it can generate a new file and automatically link that to your database. Right? So there's a bunch of things you can do. And then, of course, there's something I call a script, and it is referring to Google Apps script. Not sure how many of you heard about Google Apps script, but it's where you can basically connect different, basically write code, and this is what the coding part comes in. You can write code to perform certain functions within different platforms and to get different tasks done within Google Code. Then the other thing is send the chat message. Of course, this is the chat app integration comes in. So let's say we wanted to send an email, and we can customize the email, send it to a specific person. You can type your name, you can type your email subject. If you want to reference what is the project name, you can simply do it like this. There we go. Yeah. Good. So it's just gonna pull whatever project name was just added and be able to display that to you in the email. And then of course you have your email body. You can customize this however you want, and then you're able to preview whatever you set up before you're able to see this in action. And of course there are other settings you can take a look at. But yeah, this is just one example of an improvement that can get done in Google AppSheet. And then of course, remember to save your changes, because that's important. Good. And we have our one bot that was added. You might be wondering what is this error message. Don't worry, don't panic. The error message is just that the app wasn't deployed yet, so the automation aren't going to work. unless you deploy. Now, since I mentioned deployment, the last step would be to go deploy your app. And to deploy your app in AppSheet, it's as simple as running some deployment checks to ensure the basic structure and the basic setup of your app is in order, it's intact, it has issues, and then you can simply just deploy your app. There are different options. You can either collaborate and publish with the team, and you can also publish this app in like the App Store, whether it's Android or iOS, and use it on these different devices. Or you can either send someone the link directly for them to use the app. So there's a link for you to install the app directly, and then there's a link for you to run the app directly in your browser. So these are two options where you can access the app immediately, right? Yeah, so those are the two options. Or you can also just invite someone directly to use the app. Right, before I get started, so did anyone make any changes to their app? Yes, no?
Send an email now. But I mean, like when you think about some of these little things, right? Like before you might have to get a service like one signal, for example, to send notifications for you, and you could connect it up to your app, but you've got something here which kind of does SMS, email, notifications all in one, right? And you can even create groupings of permissions, which basically means that you can have different sets of permission criteria for people who access your app. So you can have one set that only see a certain view, and other people, like maybe admins, can see a different view, right? And that means that they can update things. We do that heavily here, so like we've deployed apps where I can see a certain view of like numbers and metrics, but nobody else can. And I can make edits to, like, let's say for example, an announcement, and nobody else who's like a regular user would be able to see, be able to edit it. They can just view it. And they also get a notification as well when they can do it. So yeah. And yeah, like before, this would be, you'd spend months, just trying to hook up one signal to a Flutter app or all this kind of stuff, and really all this and that. Now, removes it all.
So these apps can be deployed into app stores?
Yeah, you can deploy this to and the Play Store. Don't think it goes in App Store, App Store though, but yeah.
Only, okay.
Because the platform is Android primarily.
Yeah, but it is still viewable in iOS, so like, you can still access the app from.
Is there a degree of control over like animations comparable with things like Android Studio?
It's nowhere near as good as like if you had something like Flutter and you made it.
Because that would be cool if you could start off with this and then export the project to Android Studio.
The plans with this were effectively to make things for people to use internally in big companies.
Right.
That's how it was worked out, because you wanted like you wanted like, I forget the name of the term basically, but like they wanted people who were just regular employees.
Citizen developers.
Citizen developers, right? But to be fair, right, it's easy to use, but not everybody is geared to think of making apps like this, in this way. You could just, like a regular employee, maybe you could train people up eventually, but Feizie's, her brain works this way and she's good at making things like this. I wouldn't say that all of us are. We're capable of maybe going to a certain level, but when you start getting really, really complicated things like with workflows, using Zapier integrations, which will push something into a drive or connecting it up to Stripe. Ours connects up to Zero and Stripe, right? For a CRM system that we built in-house for ourselves. That's pretty incredible. Yeah, like I can't even begin to tell you like how we would have had to pay people like tens of thousands of pounds just to go and do that. And we built that in-house. So yeah, so it looks like a piece of something, but only when you start digging into it, you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, there's so much to do with this.
This is a horror show for big companies. Absolute horror show. How many apps are they going to have running?
Microsoft Office automation.
This is Access 2.0 all over again.
So what's happened is that you say companies like Roche are using it, and they have about 25,000 people using this.
So enjoy that later.
Yeah. It's hard, like the paradigm shift is changing because there's a lot of things that, and the thing is, it's not like multiple databases, they're accessing it from set. And you can set up things you can, what's the word, you can apply governance and structure the way how people build things as well in your corporation. So it means that you don't kind of like say, if you were to send the invite link out to everybody, not everybody gets it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, just we need to
Wrap up, yeah. Sorry, Feiazie, I've still used.
No, that's okay. That was perfectly leading into the part where I talked about some of the tools that we built using AppSheet and other integrations. So we've used AppSheet, Google Cloud Tools, and a bunch of other integrations. And for internal use so far, some of the things we've built are our very own sales CRM. And as Robert mentioned, we've connected this to our various accounting platforms. So this basically pulls data from these accounting platforms and consolidates this data into an app for us to be able to parse some data that we need to see to make certain decisions for the business. So what we need to see is being shown to us exactly within this app. Something else we built is a project management tool for internal and external projects, mainly because as a business, we weren't really finding the perfect tool that would be suited to the types of projects that we handle. So we were like, why not? Let's build our own kind of tool. We have the capabilities. So our project management basically helps us to keep track of internal and external projects with our clients, and just helps to make that process a bit more easier for us. We've also built different directory apps that basically help to keep track of when persons members management within a single platform. So that's pretty cool. And we've built a whole bunch of other things that I can go on about. Those are some of the pretty cool. Leads me to another pretty cool one that we built that is accessible to any and everyone. We have an idea documentary at risk, and we've built a brands app for users to stay in touch and learn more. So if you want to see about the cool things that we've built and the cool things we're doing related to idea, then you can use our app.
Thank you, Feiazie.
That's it for me.
Thank you, Feiazie.
This is it. It's been here for a while.
Just before we go to pizza. So I think Feiazie just mentioned about the idea app. If you want to get the idea app, definitely I'd recommend it because we are creating a documentary at the moment called Idea. It's actually AI-Idea. So what the gist of it is, we are collaborating with a bunch of Imperial College students at the moment from the Data Science Society, and they're helping us build 2 apps using AI. So if you want to get involved with us, I recommend that I recommend having a look at our Instagram page and Facebook page, or any other social media you have. We have shared a lot of things about it, and this is our Eventbrite QR code for our first episode premiere on Friday this week. So if you want to get involved with that, I recommend having a look. There's the next one. So this is to the link to the presentation. So if you want to get this whole presentation for yourself, and so you can work through it at home, you can use this link to get the presentation. We also have recorded the whole thing, and it's going to be on YouTube. So I will add that to the end of the presentation as well. Thank you guys. Enjoy the meetup. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rosie. See you in a bit.
Share the